You know, Nonsense is making a case for what we're discussing today because she's wrapping up her posting on the social medias as we proceed to give you what you need. Good morning. It is yet another Tuesday, and I'm so happy to be here. This is Daybreak, and we are here with Nonsense, Agnes, social media.
What? Judge?
Social media judge. CJ Atemo.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right.
All is well.
Yes, absolutely.
We'll meet. It's Thursday. Not
Yeah,
meet in Liverpool.
Yeah.
I'll see you then. And then Shatter Boy.
You don't know.
All area thing, man.
Udianga.
Only for Shatter Generals.
Give thanks, man.
Right. As we do every Tuesday, so we like to talk about, every Thursday we cook. But anyway, besides the point, every Tuesday we talk about social issues. Now, over the weekend, there have been explosions on social media in regards couples, in regards hashtags, in regards, a lot of things have been happening. And let's say in the 1 week, we've been served with a lot. So much so, it begs the question, after the serving, were there any solutions that have come from it? Is it the right place? Has it helped in the past? Because we have seen social media in the past bring to book some people, the Me Too movement, for example, the crisis in Nigeria the other day, cases about police brutality and stuff like that, domestic violence. All of this stuff is good there. But when it comes to relationships as well, there is the tendency to air the dirty linen online. So is it helping? Is the social media court, as it were, and where there are people who appoint themselves prosecutor, judge, and jury? Is it safe to share and engage online, and will it help in any way, shape, or form? That's what we're going to be talking about today. And we're asking you today, the question of the day is, do you think it is okay for you to share, let me just get it right, should we share our relationship problems online? There it is. Should we share our relationship problems online? SMS 22422. The hashtag to use is Daybreak. You can tag at Citizen TV Kenya. We're going to sample some of your views as well as we go inside the social media court. CJ, since you already have CJ's court.
Let's begin with
you. What do you think about, airing the dirty linen on social media?
First of all, I'm old school, so I'm going to be very balanced. But I'm still modern enough.
Okay.
Certain rules don't change, Willis. I don't know why people bring that stuff online. And when I was thinking about it, I thought there are those who actually genuinely think that they're looking for a solution. But there are others who are doing that so that they can build up their numbers. So you've got to look at who exactly is doing this. There are people who their social media traction has overtaken their logic. They will do anything to trend, to remain relevant, because there's another video that needs to be posted, there's a song that needs to be released, there's a book they need to sell, they want to build their numbers on YouTube, on Instagram, wherever. So anything that will get them attention will be put out there. And they won't really care the impact that will have either on them in the future or on other people. There are other people who will bring out their issues there because they're actually crying out for help. They don't know how to go about it. So they may be very genuine, but they're crying out for help. Most generally, the people who are crying out for help are not famous people. They're just your ordinary people. But for the famous people, I think that they're mostly guided by the desire to get attention and to draw it and to direct it.
There's a question I'll pick from there, but I want to throw it to Nonsense as well because you're a publicist, right? And so PR plays a big role in that. Yeah. So what happens, from a perspective of a publicist and PR, if you are going out, let's say, because kuna ile wanaita kiki, and then you deal with musicians as well. So whenever a song is about to come through, there is like a controversy, and then a song comes through, the thinking being, people will see, kama ametaja hii kitu kwa hii wimbo. So they'll go and try and watch and see if, so what do you think about that?
Actually, remember I addressed that the other day on my Twitter because I feel like we have become
just a lazy team, just a lazy people, because I have a project. Let me look for something that will bring clout, and let's see how people will react to this. But you see, this is the thing. Do you have a team of people who are creative thinkers? You see, when you become a brand, when you get to a certain level, when you start getting, and even before you get big, once you know that you're out there, you're putting your music out there, you're a brand, and it doesn't matter whether it's music you're doing. Even myself, I'm a brand. Willis, you're a brand. Everybody, when you start having something that you're communicating to people, you're selling, and people are listening, you're a brand. Have a team of people around you who think professionally. You know that, ukiangalia wasanii wengi ama everybody else who is doing these kiki things, they're just one man team, especially from Kenya. We have seen from other countries, and we know I'm not talking about double standards, yeah? But you see, how many times are you going to be doing kiki? And I said it, you're going to be needing the kikis and the controversies to keep you relevant. Because, and some songs, even when I looked at a certain song that was released the other day and had a kiki, I was like, this song didn't need this.
Yeah,
it's a song
it was
that
okay.
can go on its own with another strategy that is good. It can go on its own.
And please, not the strategy of you got married. Please.
Oh yeah, all right.
Hey, to me, sana,
yes, we are tired. And now even there's some people who believe it, and I'm like, really, you're believing that? You know, so invest, and you see, the team doesn't have to be. And I say that when you hear a team, you're like, how will I pay them? No. Have even people you can consult. I mean, we're there. We're professionals. Have
sounding boards.
Yeah, sounding boards. Even you just say, I want to release this. Then this is what I have in mind. Then you're like, shh, you've done a lot of kikis. Can we go another direction? Let's hear the song. Let's see what it's talking about, you know. Because, I mean, it's enough. I mean, the tea is too hot. Inatuchoma. Inatuchoma.
Shatta.
Yeah, man.
Before... Let's just get your general opinions about it, then I'll ask you a question. What do you think about your airing and sharing online?
New waganis.
Well, we need to become a dictionary. You have to understand.
Wagadis, ni mayadis.
Yeah, man, new bombo. Lakini, okay, ni ufala.
Yeah.
Lakini, you must understand something. There's why do people do what they do? Hapa Kenya, mostly. There's a day we spoke about it. It was here Maten. Nikasema, society palimefika. Mostly this young generation are Africans by the virtue of being here geographically. Lakini kiakili na culture-wise, they are not Kenyans. You see? Because tumekosa culture, wanachukua culture social media. You see? So social media becomes their parent. Because hiyo ndio inawafunza culture. So when zamani ukiwa na issue in your relationship, you'd go to your parent and talk to your parent and say, Mom, this and this is happening to me. Dad, this is happening. What do I do here? You get? So now social media is the parent today. So when these people go on social media to post, they are talking to their parent. They're thinking this is, because the culture they have already is from that social media. They go back there, trying to get help. But now they don't know this social media is that parent that never gets satisfied. You will keep giving this parent and giving this parent, and they'll never get satisfied. And you see, when you post relationship issues on social media, you forget the 16-year-old that will start giving you marital advice on social media. She's on the gram, and she's telling you all this, and she's 16 years old. You forget that. There is a void, there is a gap in relationship advice.
Yeah.
The old generation has failed in that department. Children feel safe now talking to social media before talking to their parents and family. You see, because I'm sure these people that post these things on social media have family. Have they exhausted family options before going to social media? Why do they feel social media is safer for them instead of coming to you? You get?
That's what I was going to ask, because Sylvia had mentioned that sometimes it's somebody actually literally just crying out because they don't know what to do. But there's, I feel, and correct me if I'm wrong, that there's a problem with that because man is not an island, so to speak. True. That for me to feel that I am at the end, and sasa lazima niende kwa social media, have I, like Shatta said, exhausted the people around me? And because there's personal story, there's a time I had started posting something, and immediately I put the first, because there were going to be a series of Insta stories.
Yeah.
Immediately I put the first one. 3 of my friends called me and said, hey, bro, hey, Apo, utachoma, we relax.
Taban.
So is it that people don't have this? When somebody says, this is the final, this is the last straw, and now I have to post on social media.
I don't think they don't have. You know, Shatta said the older generation has failed. I don't know whether I mean the old or the... but at least I grew up when things were being done different. Okay. So with that, then I would be in both generations. I think the problem is whether the people would listen. You see, your friends calling you is one thing. Whether you will listen to what they're saying is another thing. So there may be support systems, but then this person is thinking, but I am this huge personality on social media. What are you telling me? You know, they think they are a success. So there's that hubris that comes with success, you know, where you feel nobody can talk to you. Who is Shatta? What has he done? What has he achieved? This is jealous. Then you see the person come back with another post. Haters may say whatever they want to say. And you are genuinely looking out for this person.
Yeah.
Then they begin to brand you a hater, a critic, and all of that. So the subliminals, then you find the support system withdraws. Because you don't want to be the person that is being looked at.
Like,
you know,
you're sabotaging the brand.
Yeah. So I think that for a lot of these people, the social media personality is actually affecting who they are in reality in terms of they're actually beginning to believe that they are who they are on social media.
Yes, sorry, I had something to say. I felt you.
And that's the thing. Being authentic, why should you be different people?
Yeah.
Why should you have a social media life and another life? You get what I'm saying? Meaning that there's what we are selling on social that is not supposed to be sold. And you remember, people just don't post problems.
Yes,
people,
yes.
Yeah, even the good times, you know, because we've been seeing couple goals, and even some of these people who are coming now to have other problems, they started with the goals. So, meaning, especially when it comes to relationship, keep it, and I'm not, and this is, keep it private, you know, see your Siri, private. Let us not know, just because, let me tell you, social media is not your friend. It's not. It's not your friend. And you see that thing of putting everything, I feel like it's a hustle mode, which is good. Hustle mode is good, making sure you go ambitiously after what you want. But please, apply it in business and other things, because on social, you will always be trying to have another scandal. By the time you're realizing how deeper you have gone, you look back and I'm like, I'm not the same Willis. Yeah.
When Sam was having the previous conversation here, Shatta and I had some interesting thoughts, of which we'll talk to Sam and go and air them. But one of the things that they were talking about, like now, for example, KCSE, you know, the results are out. And you have it's a different generation, whether they're from Kibra or from wherever, everybody's inspirational and aspirational. And they're seeing a lot of things on social media, and most of the people they want to be like are serving a different picture. And they might not know that it's not true. So are we lost? Is that it? Because everybody's going to post the highlight reel. Shatta,
like currently, everybody's kid performed well.
And only 12%, according to the statistics, have actually qualified to go to university.
We don't, no, I'm not saying we don't post failures, but we don't post the process.
Okay.
It's not failures, because you see, there's no failure. There's only failure if you decide, I'm going to remain there and nimeshindwa kufanya hii kitu. But it's the process. I did not just wake up and become non-CZ today. CJ did not just wake up and become, even all of us who are here. But you see, we are not talking about that. So when you get there, now you're driving a BMW, you didn't say there's a day you used to walk to work, and not because you're exercising, but you don't have fare.
Yes.
You don't say there's a day you...
Or that uliomba Michael Kinyi fare. Shout out to Michael Kinyi.
Exactly.
When I was in the pitch, Michael alinisaidia na fare.
You get, we're not talking about the vulnerability process that you've cried in a jar because you've gone home without money. We are not talking about that. And you see, we need more people to talk about the process. We keep we're saying, trust the process. What is the process? What is this process that you're talking about? You get what I'm saying? And I'm saying, everybody, I want to be a doctor. I want to be, hey, my friend. Hey,
they don't know the process.
That's what the process of a doctor.
That's what we are saying, because again, you show up at the end. Like
Yes.
people always say,
Finer things.
you come soft life.
Soft life.
You come at the end of the movie. Wakati sasa
But let me tell you, soft
credits
life,
in a row.
nakuanga quarter, 3/4.
Imefichwa.
So, are we not just simply authentic?
Like I just told you, we are not. We are not who we are.
I can
Tell you,
defend.
ngoja nikwambie kitu. You see,
I can
whatever.
defend.
Na niki every time, hata before I used to tell you this, I keep saying that there is a generational gap. There is a step that people were not taken through. You see, hata zamani while growing up as a young boy, there is a time that parents will take us, like say boys, tunatuakalishwa pahali na wazee, tunaongeleshwa. These are the ways of this community. You know, this is what happens. Right now, we are living in social media, but there is no marking scheme. We don't know when you do this and this and this is what happens. You know, everyone is just wading through. So the generation that will come tomorrow will have a marking scheme from our lives. We are the
This one did
experiment.
this and failed.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are the experiment.
We're all
now.
just guinea pigs.
We are the guinea pigs now of social media. When they come, they will say, there will be a formula. When after social media will be introduced in schools as it is going, they can no longer avoid it or ignore it. It will be a subject that children need to know. This is what
How to
happens
post on
social
Twitter.
media.
It's taught in universities.
Yes,
actually.
it will come to a point that you have to teach them, because now it has become something you can't ignore anymore. You know, but as it stands right now, we are the guinea pigs. We are the experiment. They will be told about us. So kwa sasa, what we are doing is we are all wading through. Okay, Willis ameanguka pale. Okay, acha nijaribu hii route tofauti.
Panoma.
Nikifika hata mimi naanguka huko. That said, social media sio mama ya mtu. People need to know that. Social media is not your mother or your father. You need to know that. And when you feel like you have personal issues that you want addressed, unless it's vendetta, because most of them, when they post, it is mostly accusing someone else. When it is rare that someone would post their sorrow and say, guys, I'm going through this and this and this, kujeni munisaidie. Someone would post that, but others will post while attacking someone else. So it has become a battlefield. Social media is moving from social to now a battlefield. You need to understand when you're posting this thing, what do you want to achieve? Is this the best way? Are you going to achieve what you want? You know, if you post accusing me of not giving you money, and it affects my career, if I am an entertainer, I lose the money that you wanted me to give you. So what money do I give you? Will you achieve what you wanted? That is what should guide you. While in posting, what do I want to achieve? Is this the best way to do it?
See, when people post and they actually want help, like Shatta said, so how do you even sift through? Because, like again, they could be pseudo accounts, they could be somebody who, and credit to all 19-year-olds, but surely if you have a marital problems, what will they, utaona, yes, in fact, mtu ameandika hapo, hapo anajiita Gen 25782. And they give you some advice. So should we take some of these things to heart? How do you sift?
I think we must have authentic relationships outside of the public space. We must have that. Friendships and relationships are built in layers. Your inner circle, your support system must be a kind of people that even if you never post them, you know that you have this very deep relationship. It's not for the show. It's not every time I am with Willis for coffee that it needs to be out over there, because this is for me. So you need to know what feeds you and what feeds the other people, so that you don't have to come to the social media looking for the authentic relationships and the foundational support system in a market. That's a very huge place. You don't know who to trust. You don't know whose advice to take. You don't know what you're going to say. So it's important that as much as we're on social media, that we still take time to develop real, in-person, authentic relationships. So when you come over there, you're just coming like you're coming into the marketplace. You're coming like you're coming to the workplace. It's the same thing. You may not, really, let me not use you can't, but you may not have very deep relationships at work either, because there are a lot of dynamics. So you need to know, you may have one person at work who you connect with, but that's not the place to come and look for these connections. You come there to perform, get your check, and go home. So you have to develop certain relationships outside. That's, I think, what people need to have. it cannot be that your best friend is somebody that you only, chat with on social media. It can be. We've got to have certain foundational things that we used to do before that will hold us even in this particular time. When it comes to posting, let me just say that I've spoken much like Nonsense would do, but when it comes to posting, with too much love. When it comes to when it comes
Is
to
that even a
posting,
Russian?
when it comes to posting, we sometimes use logic, we sometimes use emotion. And when it comes to relationship matters, you find that most people use emotion to post. So it is how they feel. That's why if I'm not happy with Shatter, so I want him to feel, especially if you're dealing, no offense, but especially if you're dealing with a lady that you've wounded or she's upset with you, she wants you to feel what she's feeling. So she will come from the emotional place. And she will write something that maybe she will regret it after 2 to 3 days, but the damage is already done. Yeah.
So what happens when we have also, because there's a case, I think it's South Africa, just the other day, AKA, the singer.
Yes, the girlfriend.
So she committed suicide. But these people, if you look at their Instagram accounts, they have been #couple goals. They post each other, they were posting each other, they were having the best of the moment. So sitting there as a social media user, should we then see that everything is fake?
No. Like I said, people show the best side, and I think I talked about this even here. You want to talk about what is good in your life. The fact that you're not sure, first of all, understand that even you, Willis, if you post your problems, my friend, the way it will be picked, it is not if someone doesn't have a name, it will be picked.
They will nini.
They will be twisting to it, and you see, especially problems that involve even, you see, some of them even will involve family members. It's complicated. That's why, like, let me talk about what is okay. Does not mean that I do not have problems. I was watching another South African lady, I can't remember her name, but she was saying the fact that we don't talk about our problems, that does not mean that we do not have them. But at what point do I post them and how do I talk about them? Because I do not want it to be taken in a way that is out of context and I'm going to hurt other people. You see, like, okay, even now he's talking and he's saying that she had issues, she had problems that she was dealing with. She was under depression. But imagine if then when they were dating, he talked about it. It would be taken out of, and it's good to protect people because problems are there and people are going through a lot. And again, like I'm saying, we also see one side of the story. Like even the way Shatta said, someone post and I want someone to feel bad about it. It's one side of the story. Mostly, and the person who comes out with the story, we tend to believe them until we sit down and listen. Remember, some of these things, relationship, whether it's couples, there's always deeper rooted problems that it's not social media people that will help you go under and find them. No, it's not. So imagine we need to find people who are just mean well for us. You see the inner circle, that one. Because even sometimes family, they're the ones who will go and say, Mimi ni brother anani hide ID.
Hide ID.
Yeah, you see.
I'm just thinking, sorry, Shatta, I'm just thinking, isn't it prudent then, if I know that I'm at a bad space, why wouldn't I just get off social media? Even if I don't want to share
it does.
my problems. I'm battling with mental health, I'm battling with depression or something. Why not just take a break than putting up this other
a life
I am okay.
Actually, it's advisable to have a social media break. It is very advisable.
But once if you do what you're saying, then you come posting when you're okay. It is you posting one side of your story, that you're just posting the good side of life. Now you have also
but you can talk
the
about
world.
You had a problem when you have gone through it, when you have healed.
And what makes people not think it a story? What now when you do that, when you say, guys, I've been battling depression and this, but I'm okay, now they'll think, oh, this one wants clout. Look at this one.
But
But
see, you
if
will
you show
own
them
your
the
story.
journey, if they got snippets of it, even if it's not it, then believability. A story must have believability. And whether we accept it or not, social media is all about stories. We tell stories through photos, through posts, through videos, through audio. It is a story you're telling. Your story must have believability. You see? So when you took a break and you come back saying you had this problem and this, chances people won't believe you. In fact, they will start attacking you, and now you start feeling bad again.
But would they
The
believe you in the
question is,
process?
If you show
Yeah,
them,
if
they saw the
Because-
process, is seeing is believing. But
So would
what
I
would
say,
ask
for
to ask-
example,
what has to ask?
Yeah.
What is the main purpose of social media? Okay, why?
It's different for different people.
It's like there must be whoever invented social media must have had a thinking.
Yeah.
But you know, there's a time I was speaking to the late Ken Walibora. He told me, mtu ulizaa neno likawa kubwa kumliko. You might say, you might do something, then the thing becomes bigger than you. Probably people that founded this social media didn't know that. But there is that thing that they wanted, fun. Mostly it was supposed to be just socializing, not now becoming personal and sharing, but events overtook.
because
But
for Facebook, for
yes.
example, Mark just wanted his college mates to have,
Sindio,
kakuwe na
kaplace,
kaplace,
kaku
wanaweza
hang out,
ongea,
kaku
kuhang out, nini.
virtually, sindio?
What are you thinking of? Vitu kama hizo.
Well,
And
you see,
then,
again, then that brings the elements of context, because these guys, they were trying to mitigate against something. Their Western life, people don't socialize too much.
That's
it's very busy, it's all of that. We Africans, when you just walk into somebody's house, So-
na wanataka kuincrease bei ya
we already
mkate.
had-
Nimeona.
we had our social network
Yeah.
as well. So this one was mostly to mitigate them against the effects of loneliness and isolation. Well, we came in and we brought our village to the...
the thing. But
the
again,
social.
as you've said, Africans, we will just walk into someone's house and start a convo. Can you do it now? The generation of today?
No.
You can't
just
do it.
became
Imagine
That's
you
why
can't.
we are a coconut society right now. We are a coconut society. Coconut society is that we are black outside and white inside. That is it. We are black here, but inside we have a different operating system. Yes, that is the biggest problem. Therefore, we are adopting their thing. Over there, it works maybe for them.
Yeah.
When they go out there and they share their issues on social media, because that is how they live, you see. But Hapa, you want to do that, which they do over there.
And also
Of
there's
course,
a
there
lot
are
of-
repercussions.
Yes, there are a lot of negative comments as well. Just a reminder of our question we're asking, should we share our relationship problems or troubles online? Should we share our relationship problems or troubles online? Use the hashtag Daybreak, SMS 22422, and you can tag us all on Twitter. But there's also the other side as well, right? Because social media has also been used for
Yeah.
good. There are therapists who are now online.
Yeah.
You can reach out to CJ online. You can, if I need publicist help, if I need to have fun.
PR, people should
No, I'm just saying. But you know, if you, I mean, you can reach out to people online
Yeah.
in different. So then, but the biggest problem now comes again, and that we have seen over the past week or so is when it comes to relationships, and that's why I was asking if people think it's okay to share relationship problems online, because there are two ways to look at it. One, there are a lot of negative comments that come with that, and people are like, should we take the negative comments or not? The second thing is, sometimes you think you want to call out, say, a deadbeat dad, or yeah, you want to jamaa amekataa watoto wake,
Yeah.
or even buyer beware. You know,
Yeah.
What you buy versus what you
Yeah.
receive
Yeah.
is different. So you want to warn people,
Yeah.
this is bad. But let's stick to relationships. Is it okay? Do you feel when imekuwa sasa mwisho wa reli na sasa unasema huyu jamani amekataa? There's somebody who outed out an employee, one of their baby daddies, who works in a media house and tagged the media house, and that is the only time she got paid. So for her,
It helps.
she will say that mimi social media imenisaidia. So how do you balance? CJ?
You see, Willis, while you're talking, we don't marry, or rather our lives, relationships, are not lived on social media. We live with real people. We date real people, hopefully, apart from when you're doing online dating. But we date real people.
Yeah.
You're relating with real people. So this life cannot all be on social media. There has got to be a lot more that happens behind the scenes than on social media.
Yeah.
It is good to post, for example, and say Happy Mother's Day as it was on Sunday. But did you call your mom? you know,
Yeah.
did you send her a gift?
Do you have a relationship
Do
with
you have
her?
a relationship with your man?
Yeah.
It's one thing to, you know, appreciate your wife, who is the mother of your children, on social media, say Happy Mother's Day, but then she has not heard from you for the last 6 months and all of that. So sometimes then people are trying to get forgiveness from the posts that they do. You have not fixed the real issues, then you come and put up this other kind of posting that is out there. If we learn how to deal with our issues offline, there will be no necessity of getting into the place where you're actually even having to tag somebody's workplace. People still do that even in real life. You know, there are people who will walk into an
Show
office.
up
Yeah,
with a
and they will go
child.
and raise the issues. But I would rather you even do that. I would rather you
go
personally
physically.
go and look for the boss to this person and say, there's a personal problem that we have, so that it is dealt with the three of you. Because if you still need this person to later on, Shada talked about it, you want this person to provide in the future. When you've brought this thing online, you have affected even prospective employers in the future, prospective business deals in the future. Yet this person is going to be a father forever. It's not just for a particular season. So we also have got to weigh the things that I'm doing. How can I do it? Just because it worked does not mean it is the right way to do it. It cannot be what you will always do. Okay, what if you have 3 baby daddies? Are you going to be posting all of them on social media and doing that? We've got to learn
Happy
how.
Father's Day to the trio.
Yeah, well, eventually it will come out like you also have a problem. Because you can't just be calling out this one, then you're calling out that one, then you're calling out the other one. You look like you have a problem as well. And as much as you'll be dealing with a social issue, you're also affecting your own professional space, because somebody will be thinking, okay, if she can't make sound judgment on these kind of things, how do we even trust her?
Decision making. Yeah.
And even prospective future
Base.
base. Yeah, ukienda kuandika tu, people will approach with caution, like, ule mwenye nikimronga anapeleka na rieng.
You know,
Yes.
social media is a virtual government. That is what it is. It has become a government. It has become a society. It's a virtual society where there's a police station, there's hospitals. You're on social media. So now, madaktari are online. Kuna polisi wako online, just policing your life. You see, there's every
There are
kind
judges,
of, there are the judges over there, there are
prosecutors,
courts,
lawyers.
CDO, and there are jails also.
Yes,
That's
cancel
social
culture,
media.
yeah.
cancel.
Cancel
You
culture,
get-
rather.
So we have taken the society we live in here and put it on social media. Because let me ask this question for the boy child now. Let me ask this one for boy child. Why is it that the madem wanika maboy? Mbona hakuna ati maboy wanika madem kwa social media? Does it mean that all girls are perfect?
Hata kuamini.
People won't believe, just like society iko saa hii. You see the way we are today, that if mimi nikiamka hapa naanza complain kuhusu demu yangu, I'm being soft.
Ama wataweza kwani ni yeye tu peke yake.
Kwani ni yeye pekee, you get. But demu yangu akisimama hapa anze kuni-accuse, mtamsikiliza. Unaelewa? So the society we live in here is what we have transferred to social media. Ambapo unapata bado tu boy child duka amepelekwa tu safaration iko hapa, imepelekwa social media. Watakuanika, tutakuroast, hata utapata boy child mwingine ana roast tu boy child hapo social media, vile tu hapa society itakufanyia. Unaelewa? So when you are approaching social media, don't think it is different from what is on the ground. Vile vitu ziko kwa ground ndio ziko kwa social media. Kama wewe ni dem na unajua hapa kwa ground ukifanya ABCD utapata result fulani, hiyo tu ndio utaipata kwa social media. There's nothing different.
And it's going to be entertainment. I have some comments here on the question of the day that we asked about posting your relationship problems online. We have Jacob Abere, who says bringing and solving issues on social media platforms or courts, quote unquote, isn't proper. Socialists call it a disease than remedies. Here now describes what we call parental disconnect as upbringing is concerned, and that's why we see evils. All right. Morara Nyachogo. It's not good to share. Naweza sema ni ufala, ni unywinywi. Because we have many people who have got more problems on their relationships, but they try to hide their nakedness in front of people. Engineer Lazaro says, a big no. Any upright thinker will never expose his or her private pressing issues with the social media jokers. Shady Mbidi, never, unless you began it online. Pingaloch says, no man, relationship is all about two people. If there is an issue between the two, we talk to our parents. Don't make your life known so much out there. Yes, I believe those are the ones. Keep tweeting using the hashtag Daybreak, and the SMS is 22422. Yes, that's the SMS line as well. Even as we as we continue. No, since is it true that the boy child no kona more judgment online?
Yeah, the boy child is judged harshly. That one, or rather, women are believed.
But that's
more.
not to say that there are
And
still deadbeats. There are
They're
still
there,
lot
they're
of
there,
but still.
Most of what we've seen, it's rare for, we've seen rare cases, as where now a guy says, we give birth with non-CZ has abandoned the child and left. I mean, it's rare, but if a woman comes out and starts talking, and then sure, I don't know why, I think it's a society, as usual, believability. A woman is believed more when, you know, but I usually say there are two sides to the story, and you cannot really unravel everything about a relationship online. You cannot. As in, let's not even start thinking that it will be a solution. For those, can you just look for people who have gone through the issues? Can you just look for other solutions and not on those platforms? Because remember, especially if there's another party involved, could be a child, could be parents, could be your in-laws, you know, it is a whole people that you're bringing into this. Sasa naona watu wengine wanamentioniwa, they didn't want to be mentioned. Hata mi sister announce, why did my sister come into this picture? She did not want to be mentioned. She did not choose this life. I am the one who chose it, or rather it chose me, or we found ourselves in this situation. So before you do it, think about other people, because the internet one never forgets. You know, and like CJ is saying, you could lose a lot of prospective things, not even now. Your files could be pulled 10 years later, but...
I remember Kevin Hart was supposed to host, was it the Grammys?
Yeah.
And something that he had tweeted, apologized about several times. He came under so much fire that he had to apologize. But so there's a whole cancel culture bit as well. But there are those people who have been helped. But CJ, what we see these days is, and it happens, I think it's more of a Kenyan thing, really, is that when somebody is in a scandal, or I say scandal because babu nimefundishwa ile scandal. Sije kwa unanielewa. Ile scandal. Nakupata. Unanipata. So if you are in a scandal, instead of owning up, or you know, they try as much as possible to make it seem like life is going on as usual. Is that the right move, or what should happen?
All right, I'll backtrack, then I come to that.
Okay.
The issue of why women are believed more.
Right.
And why most men do not talk about women online. It's because generally men are protective of women. That's why even when a woman will be abusing a man...
I was about to say, oh, then I'm like, it didn't come out because...
You know, and that's why you see, even when it comes to things like marriage and those relationships, women get away with a lot because the man feels, I need to protect you. So even when she does crazy things, even when she's beginning to get nearly violent, he will not come out. They feel very protective of a woman. So it's very hard for a man then to come and fight the thing that he feels he needs to protect. If you find a lady who is not all right, then she takes advantage of that, of the fact that you are holding back your strength because you're feeling you're a protector. And they begin to take advantage and abuse emotionally, sometimes insult and all of that. So that could be one of the reasons why men don't really expose the women out there. Coming to the issue of the scandal, I think mostly people are looking at what's at stake. They look at what's at stake. And this is where, when you're creating this image out here, you have to do what builders do, which is allow space for expansion and contraction. And this, you have to give yourself that permission.
Yeah.
Nobody will. Nobody will. When Whitney was being interviewed by Oprah, she said, this elegant woman you saw out there was a creation of the music companies. She said, I was just an ordinary next door girl. So this picture that was painted here, that was not me. That was for the company to sell the music, to appeal to a certain kind of people and a certain kind of target market. You have to give yourself permission to remain authentic, so that even when something comes up at any one point, even when something comes up, you can easily still come and own your space, because you have not totally given your space to the other people. I think why somebody would deny I didn't do that is they're afraid of what they're going to lose, because they want to keep this perception that they have already created, or which has been created for them, which they need to fit into, and they're beginning to weigh, well, if I say I'm not that, will they still accept me? You have to still try to own your story, tell your story, own your space. That's why once in a while, it's okay to disappoint all these people who follow you, even if it's not with a scandal. Just once in a while, you need to do something that just makes you or them understand this person owns their space.
What did you remember?
No, I can't mention it here because. But hey, that one was scandalous. You know, and
Yeah, okay.
if I say it,
It's over.
it's over. It's done. Even me, I will become so culture. Anyway.
Yes, Shatta.
Another reason yenye unaweza pata kitu kama hiyo inasema about you and you choose not to respond or to deny it, it is because we are so much gone. We are no longer friends in real life. You value social media friends more than these friends here. That you seek so much of their approval and validation that you do not seek the one that it is physical with you here. You see, so you say, hey, I will not offend those people over there. Those are my people.
Those are my people.
You know, you forget they are everyone's people. They're not just your people.
They're not loyal.
Yeah. So there is that. You feel if I go out there and admit or deny, because the moment, you see, laws of communication. You comment on a rumor, it becomes a reality. You don't comment on a rumor, you just let it go. If someone is spreading a rumor about you, the day you say something about it, you have confirmed it. You know? Say unambuaga, just ignore it. Now that is the advice boy child part you.
But again,
when they are roasting you,
but again,
man,
that is also
don't.
I think that is a mostly Kenyan society thing. Because if you study actual, and since actual communication is sometimes you even get in front of it, because if it's something that's going to damage your reputation completely,
but
you might need to talk about it.
There are the pros and cons.
Yes.
You see, even say in bad situations, there's a time you'd find someone has been shot and they have a bullet in their body and they go to hospital and doctors say, if we remove this bullet, we will hurt you more than what it is doing. So we are just keeping it there. Just let it stay there, because if we remove it, it will hurt you more. Because you look at a situation and think, in this one, I need to respond. But in this one, if I respond, I will fuel it more.
Yes.
You know, so you have to know to balance what to respond na ile utachorea.
And and I was saying this one, having this conversation even when we're getting ready. Just have professional people around you. There's the inner circle, yes, but there are people who know how to handle this thing.
If you can
Scandals,
afford. If you can afford.
No. Even consult. Like I said, you don't have to have a team there, kwa ground at all the time. In it, himi anonsizi tunatembeanga nayo hapana. Just have people that you know that CJ is a professional in this matter, Non-CZ is a professional publicist or whatever. They are communications people, especially if you have things to lose. If you have, I remember when CJ was talking about Kevin Hart being hard-headed. I was watching his documentary, and his publicist was literally scratching her head, telling Kevin, you're not going to that interview and you're not going to say it. But Kevin Ninani, so it is someone who knows, I can tell you this because I am a professional. You want to do it, it's going to damage you like this, but you're not going to do it because we have built this brand and you're not going to let it go down. Another thing is being a good human being. How are we as a person? What is our character? What kind of society are we trying to build? And accepting that I did a mistake and I'm admitting I was wrong does not mean that I'm a bad person. I could have seen the light and have changed. That was me, and it's okay to say, it's okay to do mistakes. It's okay to own up. Whatever I did was not right, but I did it, and I've owned up, and I'm becoming a better person. But when you start denying like Jesus Christ, like literally, and then
Kipetero kies.
Yes,
Kipetero
bana.
yes, only for evidence to come out
what
later.
kind of society are we building? Who are we as a person? Are we those people? Are we those people, to
That
be
is
honest?
what we are becoming.
That's
Yeah.
what let's take a look at some more feedback here. I see IGNateM on Twitter has said, sharing family issues on social media is a sign of immaturity and poor upbringing.
More life.
K Gossiper, ala, jina yenyewe. On social media, it is cruel when you want it to be so, but it can be good if you want it to be. It is all about how you approach it. For instance, replying people's comments on you. If you do it unprofessionally, then you will be replied to unprofessionally. Ukiambia watu unywe
Clap back.
watakwambia kata. Joy is wanjao, but at some point, on that point, I think there are days you just need to choose violence once in a while. Joyce Wanjao says, as for me, no need of exposing your relationship online, whether in happy moments or not. American Nylord says, not even offline. Keep those problems and share them to your people. Charles Mwadeg 3. No, no, and a big no. I can't share my personal life on social media. Simply Aromi says, the general consensus seems to be social media has changed the way we live, work, and socialize, but it can't replace parenting. Why the current generation feels the need to get approval from online strangers is still a mystery. No one will solve your problems online. It's a mystery. Yes, that's as far as that is concerned.
People were saying they can't post. It's because some of them are not in the public eye. You know, some of us come into the public eye even without realizing, oh, my brand is growing. But once it hits you, then you have to start behaving like, you know, you are a brand. Because, I mean, sometimes you don't choose the life. You have a talent. You're out here, you're doing things, and all of a sudden, you have people who are following you. So it's you to realize, this is my bread and butter, and I have to treat it like an office. So sometimes the life chooses you. You don't choose. There's those that choose the life and they want to be in it. But sometimes the life chooses you, and when the life chooses you, you have to own it.
I think, Don Sizzy, what you're saying, very valid. But if I know that I am on social media as a brand, then this becomes my workspace. So I still have the right to keep my home space
personal.
away. One of the senior counsels who's a senator in this country, it took a very long time before people would even know who his wife was. And she's an accomplished lawyer as well. She did not even take up his name. And you may not even see them together, but they've been husband and wife for a very, very, very long time. It has worked for them professionally and probably politically and something like that. I think it is what we allow people to get into. Like if I decide to keep on bringing my spouse, my children, my family over there, I give people the right to get into their lives. Later on, when they find my kid with an issue, and they start trolling my kid, I give them that right because they felt this is their space. They can get into it. But if I decide to fence off and say, look, well, I may be in the public, but not all my life is going to be here. I'm here because of what I do. We said, you know, people come for different reasons. Some people just come for networking. Some people come there to look for dating. Some people just come there for business.
Some just want to
bash.
All in all of them is entertainment.
You see, then that said, bottom line is that family has failed. The natural family has failed. Family has to be the #1 support system. Family has to be, if it is not, it has failed. The first place, your first fallback plan should be family. It is where you retreat and say, guys, I have an issue with my wife. You see, you go to your parents or her parents and say, I have an issue. Social media should not be your first fallback plan. That is not where you go getting solutions for a problem you have. Because when family fails is when you look for an alternative. And that alternative is these people that you want validation from. Is you go telling them your issues, you see. But if you fall back to family and they solve the issue and protect you, then there won't be a need of you going to social media and posting. You see, we must remember who we are. That is the point. We have forgotten as a society, as Africans, who we are. We need to remember that. How were things being solved before social media? Didn't we have issues? We had issues before social media. How were the issues solved then? You see, we need to remember that. And a wise person learns from other people's mistakes and a fool from theirs. Now it is upon you that you that is putting yourself out in social media to choose between the two. Are you a wise person? Are you a fool?
All right.
Hata amesummarize.
Ndio hiyo muziki. Tutamalizia hapo. We hope that you got some insights. I guess it's also, well, all about balance, depending on who you are. Of course, if you are, you know, celebrity, social media influencer, etc., the weight kind of is a little bit more on you, because I always say that that celebrities live in an aquarium, and where everybody sits there and they're able to see, oh look, oh that's a mistake, oh okay, look, there's that, okay, that's that, yeah. But most of the other people don't. They are uko in the vast ocean, but still there is a responsibility that you must have. I hope that you got to learn a little bit something kidogo yenye itakusaidia moving forward. But at the bottom line, I guess what we're trying to say is be authentic. You don't have to share all of your problems online or all of your successes. You can choose, but whatever it is you're doing online, try as much as you can to be authentic with yourself, not to fall into pressure, and enjoy who you are, because successful people look like you. And the great Manchester United. I had to add that. Peace and love. Make sure you follow at ShatterBoyTikitaka on Twitter, or at Shatter_boy on Instagram, at Agnes Nonsizi on Twitter, and Nonsizi Agnes on Instagram, and at CJ Atemo across all platforms. And also follow me at Willis Raburu on Instagram and on TikTok. The rest,
Yeah,
like
seeing
CJ
you.
said, nimechukua break. Peace and love.
Whole life.